Okay, so our other job
Listen to Jackie.
is real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do real estate on the side when we're not preaching the gospel. Actually, we preach the gospel when we are doing real estate. But today, we are talking about the fact that sometimes a home will seem really perfect. And can you get in there?
Yeah.
A home will really seem really perfect for somebody, okay? And
And then what happens?
but when they really start evaluating all the features and the
Amenities.
lifestyle and the
Amenities, the lifestyle, the neighborhood.
floor plan is very important because, you know, for example, we were just working with some friends recently and we were talking about, you know, single level versus 2-story,
Right.
right? And so you need to stand back so we can be in it
Okay,
together.
come on.
We're trying to do this together. And there we go. And so we really love some 2-stories, but we really needed the master and another bedroom with a full bathroom down for elderly parents and
People visiting.
guests. Yeah, but especially the elderly parents. And, you know, Orlando and I talked about that too. Like if we ever had a 2-story home, we're like, we'd really need the same thing. We'd really need the master and a guest room with a full bathroom downstairs. And it's like you can fall in love with a house and go, oh my gosh, it's so perfect. And you make it feel, you know, you can make it work, right? Oh, it's perfect. But you really need to say, okay, is this perfect for me?
Right.
Right? So if you like to go for walks, okay, and there's no place to really go for a good walk, then as much as you love the home, it's probably not going to be the best home for you. Or at least you can find out where the closest park is that you can drive to.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I have a client buying a house too that's just an awesome house. They don't really need to go anywhere. It's on an acre. It's everything. It's just perfect, right? But realistically, if she wanted to go for a walk or, you know, kind of get out, she'd probably drive maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles down the way or so, give or take, to different parks to go hang out. Okay, so that's important. Think about, I know you get excited, I know you get whatever, and I've had too many people tell me that after the fact they regretted because they really didn't think about some of the things that we're talking about right now. And it was interesting because we, our friends who we were working with last week found a perfect home, and it was perfect. It ended up being the perfect home for them, but they were evaluating it next to another home, right? So we had this kind of like these two homes, they were different, and I call it, I've got an apple and an orange. And one's not necessarily better than the other, but which one's going to be the one you want?
And it was in the same neighborhood, not even 3/4 of a mile away from each other. So it basically
Not even. It was like around the street, like literally on the backside of the
So
house.
had the same parks, the same way to get to the highway and everything else. However, there was something different about the home. And it was they took
The
a
home they
step-
chose because they were both beautiful.
So they took a step back, looked at the home from the outside, and Jackie suggested to them, walk in the home, see how you feel.
Hold the phone for a second.
So from that perspective, you know, like Jackie likes to tell people, you know, she would rather talk people out of the home instead of into a home.
Yeah, the joke about me is I talk you out of buying than into buying because I'm very protective.
So there's a lot more than a few elements before
Let's go back to
buying a
that
home.
point. Let's go back to that point though, because that's what we did. We said, okay, both of these homes are beautiful. They are just really different though. And I said, let's go back. We went back 3 times in a matter of like 30, 40 minutes to each home. And we would stand outside the home, look at the front, and then walk up, open the door, and ask ourselves, how do I feel when I open that door, right? And on one of these very beautiful, it was almost like, not really Mediterranean, but kind of, you know, with the stucco, and it had like a rounded front. It was just very regal looking. But they realized that when they opened the door and they walked in, there was a stairway right there, a small room, and it felt very narrow and cramped. Whereas the home they ended up finding and choosing was when they walked in, it was just sprawling and open. And it was like, oh yeah, I'm so glad to be home. Because when it gets that tight in a competition, you got to really say, okay, when I walk in, how do I feel after a long day at work?
And the key thing with it is that we let them watch.
3-car garage, 2-car garage.
Yeah, and we let them make their own decision. I mean, they come as a realtor. You show them the home, you take a step back, let them make their own decision, and help them, guide them. How do you feel about this? You just ask them questions. Don't
School district.
Right. Our job is to help them make the best decision and to guide them
For
through
them.
that process. For them, it's not for you, it's for them.
Because maybe it wasn't the case, but let's say hypothetically the other house was more like a Lexus and this one was a Mercedes, or and it's like maybe I prefer the Lexus. I don't want to influence them because maybe the Lexus is my taste, not theirs, and so I really have to
Exactly.
help them evaluate what's going to be more functional short-term and long-term for them, because the potential is they could be relocated. They have a daughter who's going to
And resale value. Don't forget about that too.
resale value, and they have a daughter that's going to be driving in a couple years. And what about parking? What about guests? What about, right? So what's going to be most functional? So that's what we wanted to share with you today, because it was a really excellent time that we had last
We
weekend.
had a really good time.
We saw so many homes in so many locations, and they were all good.
It also worked out. They're such a good people, such a good family. I mean, they were so cool, so open. They were like, it was
But they
like
stepped back,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
weren't reactive, and they weren't,
right.
emotionally. We said, let's stand back from our emotions, because they did like that other one. But when they really stood back and evaluated the functionality, livability, parking, future resale, bedroom size, the bedrooms were really small in that other one, even though it was a huge
Yeah.
house. Okay, so that's another thing I've had where these houses were perfect and people are like, the bedrooms are too small. And I'm like, seriously? But that is an issue when it
So
comes
there-
to selling your home.
So there's more to real estate than real estate.
Yeah. So you can call us if you need us, because we're going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not. Right?
She will, not me.
General.
I'm very
And
shy.
have a good day.